Pinaki, and next up we have Democracy, and the leader is Najol. Kindly start presenting. All the best, guys.
Before the next team starts, hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes. Please proceed.
I want to know if Deepthi has started recording because I have done my part.
Yeah, I've started recording. Y'all can continue.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. We are Group A, and the form of government that we had to focus on was democracy. Now, democracy is a very vast topic, and there's a lot to learn in democracy. But don't worry, that's what our team is here for. First, allow us to introduce ourselves. I'm Najal Norona from Ninth A.
Hi, I'm Pragati Harish Bhosle from 7C.
Hi, my name is Shama Sayed and I'm from 9C.
Hi, my name is Blessia and Basil, and I'm from 6th A.
Now that you've met our stunning team members, it's time to learn about democracy. We first have a presentation to give you all of the facts, and then we have a skit to help you visualize what democracy is. We hope you enjoy and learn with us. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, your first question will be, what is democracy? So, democracy is a form of government in which the common people hold political power and can rule either directly or through elected representatives. The main points of democracy are people elected government. There is freedom of speech, the principles of social equality, and respect for the individual within a country. So, now why do we need a democracy? Well, democracy helps citizens to choose their leaders to run the government. Democracy provides equal rights among citizens on the basis of caste, religion, and gender. Democracy enhances quality of decision making and also improves the dignity of citizens. So there are many countries who implement democracy, but for time's sake, we're just going to mention two. So obviously, we have to talk about our very own country, India. So the history of India's democracy is that though India became a free nation on August 15, 19, it declared itself republic 1950. A salute of 21 guns and the unfurling of the Indian national flag by Dr. Rajendra Prasad heralded the historic birth of the Indian Republic on that day. Thereafter, 26th of January was decreed a national holiday and was recognized as a Republic Day of India. During that time, Dr. Rajendra Prasad took oath as the first president of India. So now let's go a little more international. Let's talk about the history of Norway's democracy. First, Norwegian democracy has been remarkably durable. Norwegian democracy has existed and functioned well since the separation from Denmark in 1814. In that year, the newly and very independent Norwegians adopted what was at the time undoubtedly the most democratic constitution in Europe, which was in large part the French Revolutionary Constitution of 1791 and fashioned in the plain upstairs assembly room of a merchant's house at its wall by an unusually representative assembly. So, is democracy good or bad? So, to know this, let me give you an advantage and a disadvantage on democracy. So the advantage of democracy is that democracies usually grow faster economically than other forms of government. The freedom offered in the structures of democracy allows the general population to seek any result they want. This governing structure grants the freedom to look for different employment opportunities, schools, or even places to live. The choice remains with your voice. You get an opportunity to seek what you are enthusiastic about in this life. So now the disadvantage of democracy is that the structure of democracy depends upon the will of the majority. Now we have dealt with issues like slavery, discrimination, and gender inequality in the past because the perspective of those with the most votes says that society deserves to have those elements. If someone finds themselves outside of the will of the majority more often than not, then it will feel like the vote doesn't really count for something. Majority rule only works if you're also considering individual rights. Because you can't have five wolves and one sheep voting on what they should all be having for supper. Thank you. And now we have a small skit presented by Shaima and Pragati to hopefully help you visualize what democracy is. Now, this skit is set in the year 2002 when General Musharraf was taking over Pakistan. So we hope you enjoy it.
Hey, Shaima, how are you now?
Well, I'm good. How are you? What's happening with you?
Nothing much. I'm just, doing well. So I also just
Wow, your drawing is really pretty. Hey, today in our school we were learning about democracy, and that is really very interesting. Many people say they're democratic, but they aren't.
go really just country.
Like North Korea, Pakistan.
Excuse me, Pakistan. How consider it?
I'm sorry, that is not how democracy works. If you read anything in the news, then you will come to know that many people are held by the gun and they are not given free will to vote. And by the way, the president and the prime minister has thought out a new law so that they can be in charge of everything. So yeah, that's not how democracy works. So let me actually explain you what a democracy is. Democracy is a form of government by the people, for the people, and made of the people. It is a form of government in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised directly by them or by elected judges and a free electoral system. Or democracy is a system where the or democracy is a system where the citizens of the state exercise power to rule the state directly or through elected representatives. Some democracy features are rulers elected by the people take all the major decisions. Um, Election offers a choice and fair opportunity to all the people to change their current rulers. This choice and opportunity is available to all the people. The exercise of this choice leads to government limited by basic rules of the constitution and citizen rights. Hope you got some idea what a democracy is.
Thank you. And what is a democracy?
You're most welcome.
So just like Pragati, we really hope that all of you also understood what a democracy is. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
So now it's again the question and answer round. Miss, could you please ask them a question?
Yeah. Since you explained to me democracy so well, I would like to ask a question. As a citizen, do you think we have a role to have a better form of government here in our country or in all the democratic countries? If so, justify? Hello?
Yes,
Am I
miss.
audible? Am
Uh,
I?
yeah, yes, miss. Could you please repeat your question?
Yeah, you explain to me. You explain the entire concept of democracy, right? So what I'm asking is, under democracy, you said we have rights. You can question the government. So what is our role as a citizen? Can we bring a change or a better form of government in our country or
Yes, miss. We as citizens. Yes, miss. We as citizens, we can actually, before we vote for our leaders, we can actually maybe study a little bit about them, maybe learn a little bit about what they've done in the past or what they are going to do and how promising their statements are before we vote. And most of all, the people, us as citizens, we have to vote, because many people in India, they do not vote at all, and then they complain about the leaders. So main thing is, if you are gonna vote, then you have a right to complain if the leader doesn't keep his promises. But mainly, miss, you just got to learn about the leader that you're going to be voting for.
very good, very good. Very good presentation, girls. Um, in India, in fact, the voting ratio is higher than the other countries like America. The voting ratio is high in India than in America. So it's not that Indians don't go to vote; they do vote, but they are only aware of their political rights only when the situation arises. It's not that when they particularly they are aware of only right to vote. They are not aware of the other rights which are given to them. So basically, if citizens are alert and if they are aware, then definitely there will be a better type or better form of government in our country, or for that matter in any of the democratic countries. So very important is the role of a citizen. Thank you, very good presentation, girls. I'm very happy.
Okay. So I have a small announcement. The next team is dictatorship team, and the leader is Katha, but she's having a bit of internet issues, so we might have to wait for 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, in the meanwhile, group, since you all spoke about elections and democracy, when it comes to the election process, girls, there is this nota option, right? You have a nota choice. That's none of the above. So, do you think it helps in the election process?
Excuse me, Miss Ivana.
Yes, Tuti?
Miss, is this directed to the team or is it a question
Yeah,
open to all?
it's directed to Nijol's team, because, the last team that presented.
Okay. Najol, please answer.
Or
Yeah,
anyone else from the group.
miss, personally, I don't feel like well, miss, I do feel like that none of the above voting section is helpful for like first time voters, or if you just like are confused on who to vote, and or you just feel neutral about the ministers or the people who are supposed to be elected. So it is a very helpful option.
Okay, but because even if people go and vote, since it's our right and everybody has to vote, even if they go and press nota, still somebody, a leader will come to power. As you said, also it's the majority wins. So I just wanted to know the opinions of this group about this nota, in the election process. Yes, Asmi wants to say something.
Yeah. If you even press the nota, it is of no use because if the number of nota is more use. If there is more nota, then only it is of use.
Asmi, your voice was breaking, my dear girl, so I couldn't hear the answer. Yeah. If you could maybe repeat what you wanted to say.
Miss, the nota number is less, then it is of no use. Only if the nota number is more, then it's the candidate.
Okay, no problem, Asmi. Thank you for attempting to answer.
Excuse me, Miss.
Yes, Nicole.
Miss, what happens if the number of nota are more than any of the other votes?
It doesn't happen, Nicole. It's a very less percentage of people who tap or click on the nota option. So it's never been in a majority or so many number of votes to be considered actually.
Miss, but what if it happens, and what will the representatives have to make themselves more convincing or something like that?
This situation has never happened so far, so I really don't know what if this happens also in future. What will be the protocol or what steps will be taken?
Miss Ivana, may I please add?
Who's this?
Teacher.
Miss Akane, you want to continue, Miss?
Yeah, just wanted to add to your answer.
Yes, Miss.
If at all that thing happens, if at all, in the political situation, if that arises, it gives a reflection and a feedback to the election commissioner of that particular state that so and so representatives or so and so candidates who have contested election in that particular constituency, they don't have the choice of the people. So basically, when people uh, opt for that option, and if at all majority of them, forget about majority, even if it is more than 33%, it shows that the candidates were not of the choice of the people. That means somebody have imposed, somebody or one political party forcefully brought that person or brought that candidate to contest election. Maybe he or she is not the choice of the people of that constituency. But yes, how Miss Ivana said, it is a very rare case. Why? Because none of the political leaders will choose a candidate who is not popular. Are you getting it? They will choose a candidate who is very, very popular.
Yes, Miss.
So therefore, in our Indian political system, so far it has not happened because of this. Because they'll go for the candidates who will not be even qualified or who may not even prove to be a good leader, but they will choose a person who is a very popular person and they know that people will vote for him. So is that clear to you?
Yes, Miss.
Miss, I had a question. Miss, in democracy, what is better to have ballot chits or EVM machines.
I personally go for ballot.
Yes, yes, because it
And with
could be flawed in the machine.
exactly with this so many cyber related crimes which are happening in our state and in our country, so many technical errors are there which are involved in the political system. It has been proved also in the assembly at Delhi how it can be misused, and still we are using electronic gadgets. That means we are following the system which is first only corrupt system. So I personally, if you ask me, I will prefer for ballot rather than having electronic machines.
Yes, I agree. Katha, are you here?
Yeah,
Katha,
Siti, I'm
Katha's
here.
team.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. You all can start presenting.
yeah, just a second.
So the next team is Team Dictatorship with the Captain Katha and all the best guys.
Yeah, just tell me if you all can view my screen, okay?
Yeah.
It's visible, right?
Not yet, Katha.
Not yet. Now it's
Yeah.
visible.
Is it visible now?
Yes, Katha.
Okay. Rihanna, please start.
Good morning, everyone. We are here on the show, and we are here to enlighten you on a form of government that you might not be so familiar with. Let's begin. First off, what is dictatorship? The dictatorship is a form of government characterized by a single leader or a group of leaders that holds a lot of governing power, promise to the people with little or no toleration to politics and disobedience. Two examples are North Korea and Singapore. Who is a dictator? A dictator is a political leader who possesses absolute power. In North Korea, the example is the leader of North Korea.
Features of the dictatorship. Supreme place to state. In a dictatorship, the state is supreme, which obviously means there is none over the state. The main motto of the state is to wage wars and fetch victory. Against democratic process, dictatorship is regarded as the enemy of democracy. There is no place for justice, equality, and freedom for its people in a dictatorship. Belief in power and violence. The basis of dictatorship is power, violence, use of force. Dictators get power of governance by using force and they remain in power with the threat of force. One party administration. There is no opposition to administration and no criticism of administration. In a military dictatorship, there is no permission even to organize political parties. End of opposition. If a person criticizes a state in a dictatorship, he is arrested. All of the activities of opposition are prohibited. Centralization of power. In a dictatorship, all sorts of powers are centralized. Snatching power from lower level, the power is increased at higher level. Belief in imperialism. Dictatorship is an imperialistic ideology wherein they believe in increasing its power and territory through colonization and use of military force, etc. Public opinion neglected. Dictatorship controls education, literature, press, television, etc., which are the sources of formation of public opinion in order to propagate its ideology and to oppose the ideologies of the opposition. Worship of one man. In dictatorship, only one person is a supreme leader who is regarded as a symbol of national unity.
What is the process to pass any law act in a political system? Law and decision in a dictatorship system are made by a dictator or their appointees. The dictator may not make each decision on their own but will appoint.
Now let's look at the pros and cons of having dictatorship as a form of government in a country. The advantages that we see are quick running of activities. Since decision making lies with one individual, things move quickly due to the quick decisions, and this may lead to having a stable country since people follow orders without questioning them. Less room for corruption. Since they have strict rules and severe punishments, people working under the dictator are less liable to any corruption and resulting in fewer crime rates. Promote international diplomacy. A dictator with a sound mind can form alliances with other nations and negotiate on behalf of the nation. This opens more opportunities for people and promotes international diplomacy. Experience. Dictators who are elected due to their real life experiences in certain areas allow them to accept more responsibility and act for the better benefit of all. Economic benefits. In dictatorship, the election process is very costly, and instead they channel this money for campaigns and other electoral processes to the development of the country. The disadvantages of dictatorship are that dictatorship is not a long term solution. Dictatorships exist everywhere, however, they are short lived. In many cases, a dictator has to survive several attempts to overthrow its governance. Laws are changed anytime. The dictator can change the rules and policies anytime to impose his will. Oppression of people. Dictatorship is ruled by fear, and most of the dictators, to achieve their goal, they inflict fear and sometimes even kill those who oppose their ruling. No freedom of choice of people. The opinion of people is not given importance. Accumulation of wealth on a few hands. Dictators and their allies can make decisions in favor without looking at the interests of the majority or the public. Innocent people get caught in power struggle. Sometimes, when there are political rivals, it leads to the mass killing of innocent people who are caught up in a situation where there is a power struggle between governments. An opposition is rarely allowed. Any opposition is met with a lot of force, threats, and death warrants are issued.
Is this political system the best to implement rules? Not really. Dictatorship is not acceptable in today's civilization. Absolute leadership requires huge sense of responsibility, which is lacking in today's leaders.
We shall now have a role play to demonstrate the idea of dictatorship. Scene 1. The leader's office. The ministers gather up in the leader's office for an uncalled meeting.
So, this meeting has been called as I want to inform you that I believe a new rule should be applied.
Ministers nod. What is it, leader?
As I was inspecting our people the other day, I saw a bunch of women wearing jeans. Let me get to the point. I believe jeans should be banned.
Ministers are still a bit perplexed. Why should we imply such a rule? We see no problem with jeans.
Well, I do, and as I'm your leader, you listen to me.
Okay, sir, but may I ask for a valid reason for such an imposition?
Well, you know, women wearing jeans is inappropriate. It's something I don't agree with, okay? If anyone disagrees, I think we can have a casket ready for them. My decision is final and I don't want any more arguments.
Ministers consider what has been said.
I see this rule as sensible. I do not see why we should not imply this rule. Women are banned from wearing such inappropriate clothing. However, I think men are good. This rule should not apply to them.
I agree with you and leader. Let's do the needful. About time.
Minister 1 is still not convinced. I don't have a good idea about this. Okay then.
Great then. Team, please get to work.
Right away, sir.
Minister 2, I think Minister 1 was talking a bit too much today. Make sure his trap is shut and he's chilling in his grave by tomorrow.
Sure, sir.
As per the orders of the leader, the law does get imposed. Meanwhile, Minister 1 regrets her decision of opposing the leader. Scene ends. So you see, my friends, a dictatorship is a rule where people's opinions don't matter, even if they might be valid. If anyone's opposition is cropping up, then it's made sure that the person talking against the dictator is dead. The dictator does what he wants and is pretty much unstoppable. Thank you.
Great presentation, guys. Miss, could you ask them a question? Miss Ivana, would you like to ask?
No, Miss, you can go ahead and ask them a question on this.
All right. Girls, can you give me one advantage of a dictatorship government? Just one advantage.
Miss, as we mentioned before, since decision making lies with only one individual, the decision making is faster.
You think it is an advantage?
Miss, the decision making is faster in the sense it is not a really good advantage, but like
Miss,
things
can I
work
speak?
faster.
Time consuming. All right, fine. With regards
Miss, can I
to
speak?
Miss Anna wanted to add to that.
Yes, yes, please.
Miss, I feel that the advantages of dictatorship is that it is a strong government, so everything is under the power of the dictator. So there is no criticism or opposition because, as we mentioned, the dictator doesn't like it when he is opposed. So everyone is working towards to see for the success, and so the dictator makes sure that the people don't go against his opinion. So I feel that that's the advantage of a dictatorship.
All right. As long as you get a very good dictator.
Miss,
Yes.
Yes.
Miss, if we get a very good dictator, then it's more than good because if it's a very good dictator, then everybody will listen to him and everything is gonna be good.
Very good. Yes, that's what I said. Yeah, I like it. I'm so much happy and glad that I involved in knowing different types of government and having a very healthy discussion about the topics. Very good. I appreciate all the 4 team members. You have put your effort and your energy in doing this presentation and thinking, going beyond your textbook. I am so happy about you, girls. I appreciate each and every one of you, and special thanks to your parents for supporting you to conduct such activities. Thank you very much, girls. I'm so happy to attend this session. I'm very glad that you are actively involved in these activities of artisans. Thank you, girls.
Miss Antoinette, I would like to just add, Miss, with regards to the last part. We are talking about dictators and good dictators, actually. So again, it's a very rare possibility to have good dictators because when one person gets power, it's very obvious or it's very natural that they tend to misuse that power. And also regarding Nicole's question about that I had asked for Nota, and you said that what if the Nota votes are more than the majority, right? So if that happens, the person who gets the second largest votes, that candidate will be considered, will be taken into consideration. Okay, if such a case happens, it's like the rarest of the rare cases, which hasn't happened so far. Yeah, that's it, Miss. That's it, Miss. And very good job, girls. All of you have done really well with and presented your matter also very well.
Miss, can I ask something? Miss, regarding the
Yes.
dictatorship, if there is, has there been any good dictator till now? Because you just said there is a rare possibility of being a good dictator.
Yes. Yes, Asmi.
Ashmi, can you repeat the question?
I said that Miss Ivana said that there has been very less possibility of there being a good dictator. So I asked if there was any good dictator till now.
All right. First of all, dictator is a dictator, whether good or bad. That depends on each one of us. Like, for example, if you ask me, Baba, I would say Salazar was a very good dictator for me. Salazar was a dictator in Goa. So I would say he was a very good dictator, or a very good ruler in Goa. But others may not agree with me because for me, he was very strict. There was so much of law and order in Goa when he was ruling in Goa. So for me, that severe punishments what he used to give probably was like a good thing, because of that only there was law and order in our society. But that may not be good for the others. No, you may think that Miss, he was such a cruel person. Someone else may say that Miss, he was very cunning. Someone else will say Miss, he was so harsh and his punishments were so terrible. He should have not given this punishment for small petty, small crimes. But then my opinion says because of him there was law and order. Because of him there were no adults teasing also girls outside. Today you see the girl child is facing so many problems in our society. There is law and order. Police is also there. Our government is also there. In fact, we have a democratic government. But still there are crises going on. You see now recently so many crimes are happening in our own state, Goa. So many girls are witnessing. Girl child. What is happening? So can I say that we have a very good democratic government here? No. We have democracy and we say that democracy is the best form of government. But who is running the democracy is a question mark. So exactly whether I'm going to have a good dictator or whether I'm going to have a good democratic government, it all depends on that person who is sitting on that chair. Are you getting it?
Yes, Miss. Thank you, Miss.
Yeah. So happy that you asked that question.
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss.
I will
Excuse me,
wait.
miss.
I will wait. I will invite you as my
Miss, I
Excuse me,
yes,
miss.
yes.
Miss, what is the difference between an absolute monarchy and dictatorship?
Absolute. The thing is that you are coming from your family. All right. When even if there is council, they will not agree to the advice given by the council. That's called absolute monarchy, which is later on replaced by constitutional monarchy. But monarchy is there, king is there, but his powers are limited by the constitution. That is called constitutional monarch. But when you don't have the powers divided or the legislative functions are not been given or divided according to the laws of or the rules framed by the constitution, then it becomes an absolute monarch. So you're asking absolute monarchy is having their absolute right.
Miss, not between the constitution monarchy and absolute monarchy. Miss, between absolute monarchy and dictatorship.
Absolute monarchy wherein the king is following his absolute rights. Okay, where only king from that particular family is coming. Whereas under dictatorship, it is not necessary that you should come from that class only. Not necessary that you should belong to the nobility class. Any military person, any person who is muscularly fit and powerful can be the ruler. That's called dictator.
Yes, miss. Thank you, miss.
I'm so
so
sorry.
Miss, can I
Yes.
conclude?
The absolute monarchy is the ruler is coming from the family of kings, nobles, nobility class. Whereas under dictatorship, that person can just be a soldier. Not necessary that he if he has his military powers, then he can declare himself as a military dictator. Sorry.
Yes, miss.
Is that clear to you, Baba?
Yes, miss.
All right.
Miss, can I conclude today's session?
Yes, please, Shruti.
Thank you everyone for joining, and I would like to say special thanks to all the team members and team captains. As I was organizing it, everyone has been so cooperative. I'm so thankful for you guys. And I would like to add to this that especially this time there were I think a lot of six standards who have given excellent contribution to the PowerPoints. So thank you so much, and thank you Miss Ivana and Miss Antoinette for joining us today. And the results will be uploaded soon. And thank you guys. I'd like to end here. Miss, would you like to say something?
Not much, girls. Thank you very much for being a part of this Actizen's activities. I appreciate each one of you. Please continue contributing in this activities which the executive will ask you, or they will ask for volunteers to join. So please continue contributing, and let us have a better democracy, a better democratic government, and active citizens like you. God bless you.
Everyone can exit the meeting. Thank you guys.